this is, I mean, that's the only reaction you can have. This is the fastest LCD we've ever had in our labs. This ASUS monitor, the VG278HE, features 144 Hertz refresh rate. Mind blown. Now, it's about more than just the refresh rate. Sure, 144 Hertz refresh rate sounds pretty cool on paper, but unless you have really fast pixel response times, you can be refreshing that image as often as you want, taking data from the video card, giving it to the user. But if those pixels are switching too slowly, you're going to have so much motion blur, it's going to look terrible. So I've seen 100 monitors with 2 millisecond rated response times that actually don't really look any better or provide any better of a gaming experience than any other monitor because it's just totally not needed for a 60 Hertz refresh rate. This monitor overclocks almost every aspect. So it's got super fast pixels, a super fast refresh rate, and super fast electronic internals, which mean your input lag, which is one of the main problems with LCDs because of all the image processing that goes on, the input lag, so the time between you move the mouse and the guy turns, is minuscule. So it's providing that twitch feedback, that fast response that gives you the best possible experience, even if you're not using it for stereoscopic 3D, which it is, of course, fully capable of doing because it supports light boost along with the 120 Hertz refresh rate, so you can actually turn it down to 120 Hertz, go figure, required for NVIDIA 3D Vision. Now, there are trade-offs that have to be made in order to achieve that quickness, that response time that you get from a panel like this. So while it's perfect for stereoscopic 3D gaming, perfect for non-stereoscopic 3D gaming with the best overall experience that anyone coming from a CRT is going to be needing. I mean, if you want that replicated on an LCD, this is as close as you're possibly going to get today. But you do lose a few things. This is a TN panel. We don't have IPS panels or VA panels or PLS panels that have fast enough pixel response times in order to achieve this kind of a refresh rate and have it not look horrible. So that means you do have reduced viewing angles. It's a TN panel, okay? You do have reduced color depth, and because it's optimized for 3D, you're not going to see any higher than a 1080p resolution. Dual link DVI can only carry about 1080p 144 Hertz before it runs out of data. So we're going to need to switch to DisplayPort exclusively in order to go any higher than this in terms of resolution and or refresh rate. We're at the limits today. Now, if you want something that doesn't have these resolution limitations, viewing angle limitations, and color depth limitations, then something like the PB278Q might be the answer for you. It's 2560 by 1440 resolution, only 60 Hertz in, because remember, the more the resolution, the less response time we can have to avoid running out of data in the DVI link. Okay, it uses a PLS panel, which means you've got beautiful eye-popping color depth, rich blacks, bright whites, but it does cost more. Okay, you get more real estate, you get less real estate, you get a lesser gaming experience in some ways, although the richer colors do contribute as well. But this is the CRT replacement. I hope that clears things up. Now, this episode wouldn't be complete without a physical examination of ASUS's VG series monitor. It has a wide variety of different inputs, including HDMI, DVI, and VGA. However, you're going to want to use that dual link DVI in 99.9% of cases in order to take advantage of the increased refresh rate and the full 1080p resolution at that increased refresh rate. In terms of ergonomics, you've got your swivel, you got your tilt, and your height adjust. The one thing it's missing compared to something like a more expensive monitor like this guy right here is that pivot feature that might be useful for graphics designers, photographers, anyone who needs to, well, pivot their monitor like this in order to view it like that. The overall physical look is very similar to their other VG series monitor, the 120 Hertz one, with the round base and sort of overall glossy look. And it's got tactile buttons, which is great. Personally, I'm a big fan of using buttons that I can actually feel at the bottom, so I know what I'm doing, even if it's dark. And I think that pretty much covers it. The conclusion of this episode is actually very simple. Buy what suits you. You want the earliest possible opportunity to react to what an enemy is doing in a gaming situation. You want this guy. with the 144 Hz refresh rate. If you want more screen real estate, you want more true-to-life colors, you want, well, a lower refresh rate, go with something like this. So this is for the professional graphic designer, Photoshopper, whatever, whoever else, you just need more space to work on, ginormous pictures or whatever else the case may be. Perfect for you. You just want fast pixels. You want to experience games in 3D or not 3D, whatever the case may be. Go with this guy. Thank you for checking out this episode of NCIX Tech Tips, and don't forget to subscribe.